Hi, I'm Dan over at Loxo with a quick look at creating email automations in Loxo. We make it very simple for you to create emails that will be automatically sent out of your Loxo system to candidates when they hit a certain stage in your job pipeline, which will save you a lot of time, obviously. Now, to create email automations, you're going to begin by clicking on the gear icon up here at the upper right, and from this drop-down menu, choose Settings. And on the Settings page, as you probably know, everything happens over here on the left-hand column, and look for the link called Email Automation. When you click on email automation, you'll see a list of all the email automations that you have created previously in your Loxo account. And to get a new one created, simply click on the blue New Email Automation button up here at the upper right. It's a very simple process of creating a link, a trigger for the communication that's going to go out, i.e. what stage of the job pipeline are we talking about, and then creating the communication that gets sent out when the candidate hits that stage of the job pipeline. Begin though by giving a name to the email automation that you're building up here at the upper left where it says New Email Automation. Click there and type in the name of the automation you are building. The active box is like the on-off switch for the automation. So as you build the email automation, you might want to leave this unchecked, and then right before you click save, make sure that that is checked and active. Below that, where it says only send a preferred email type, what we're asking you here is if a person has more than one email address on their profile in Loxo, which one are we going to be targeting, so to speak, with this email automation? So depending on your naming convention, choose either personal, main, home, work, or whatever the email that we're going to be targeting with this automated email. Below that, where it says append signature of sender at send time, I recommend you put a check mark there so that all these email automations that go out of your system, they will have your contact information, your email signature down at the bottom so they know how to get back in touch with you. Now, the process of building the automation is simply the process of adding the link and then building the stage or the communication. So click on Add Link and tell us what job we are talking about. So use the job drop-down menu here and you'll see a list of all the jobs that you've created in your Loxo account. Click the job that we're talking about, the job in question. And then to the right of that, tell us what stage of that job pipeline is going to be the trigger for the communication. So you'll see a list of all the stages of your job pipeline. And if you're like most users, you'll probably create the sourced email first. So what I mean by that is when you source someone for a job in your Loxo system, this email will go out to them automatically telling them about that job and urging them to apply for the job. So the three most common automated emails that we see people create in Loxo are when somebody's sourced for the job, when someone applies for a job, and when someone is rejected. But theoretically, you could create an automated email that goes out at every stage of your job pipeline. We don't ever see that, of course, but something to think about in terms of the functionality of this tool. So we've indicated here in this example which job we're talking about and what stage of that job pipeline is going to be the trigger for the communication. Now we can click on Add Stage and actually build that email. Where it says New Automation Stage, what we're asking you here is, what are you calling this email? So this is for your eyes only. I'd probably call it something like Apple Director of Clinical Development Oncology Sourced Email. It's a mouthful, but it gets to the point of what this email is. Now, where it says Email Subject, this is the subject line that the recipient will see. So here's where you want to put in whatever you want to say to the recipient, like, found a great job for you with Apple in Denver. Click here to read all about it, or whatever you want to say, right? And then build the body of the email exactly as you're used to. So for example, you're going to want to use a person merge tag to personalize this communication, maybe something like Dear, and then we'll drop in first name. So it says Dear Dan, like that. And then more importantly, I want you to pay attention to the fact that we give you job merge tags here. So as you build this automated email content, you'll remember to use the company merge tag to reference the company, in this case, Apple, the job description merge tag, so it populates the job description in this email, and the link to apply for the job. So this will obviously help you, build the body of the email quickly and appropriately using these merge tags here. Now, at the lower left, you can set the delay time for this communication however you feel, whatever you feel is appropriate. So the default setting is going to be 0.25 of 1 hour, a quarter of an hour, i.e. 15 minutes. So what that means is 15 minutes after I source someone for this job in my Loxo system, they're going to get this email automatically introducing them to this job and asking them to apply for this job. But set that delay time here at the lower left, wherever you think makes the most sense for this automated email that you're adding into your Loxo system. At the lower right is where you can indicate who this email is going to be from. You can use the drop down here if you have multiple people logging into your account. And that is the process of putting together an email automation. Simply hit the save button down here at the lower left, and that will save that new email automation that you put together into your Loxo system. Now, if you have questions about building email automations, feel free to reach out to us down here at the lower right-hand corner whenever you're logged in and start chatting with us if you have questions or if you need some best practice advice with regard to these email automations. Thanks for watching.